So let's go into our first superstar, Malcolm. Our first
wrestling review.
the wrestling reviews. We still need to get a name for this, but who do we got up first, Malcolm?
All right.
Who do we got up first today?
Let's see. Who do I want to talk about? I'm gonna put Jake the Snake Roberts up here.
Jake the Snake Rob. What a
I want to
guy.
point out this was the first time we met our friends Morgan and Rain.
Yeah.
Morgan's in the wheelchair. Rain is his mom.
Yeah,
and,
good people.
We've hung out with them multiple times. I love them. They're so awesome. You'll probably see them in the front
Ivory
row.
too. Ivory's amazing, and we'll talk about her.
I just like pointing out the friends. Sometimes.
Yeah, and Jake the Snake Roberts is, he's over there. You see him in the background. It's both of them doing signings, and I'm really, I'm smooching with Ivory because
she thought you're so nice. She's like, you're so nice.
There's Jake the Snake. You kind of started on Ivory, but Jake the Snake is an amazing person. He was accomplished in a way in WWE where he wasn't winning titles. He had a presence to him. I mean, he had he's grabbed my ass. He's like, you grabbed my ass. I mean, this guy's a real. He loves the fans, and he also came back from the depths of hell. You have to understand this guy.
How tall he is.
He's a big man. But if you realize that this guy, if you go watch Beyond the Mat, I mean, this guy went through hell. And he came out the other side, and look, he's still there. He's still alive. He's still kicking. And it was a very interesting career he had. He performed a villain type character, but not really. It was more of a everyday.
I thought
type,
it was like a theatrical thing.
but it was an everyday type character, methodical, and
I like that he was world-renowned, hated, like because he was so good. He
was loved. I mean, people loved him.
Well, no, back then when he was a heel, he said a woman in the crowd brought a razor blade and cut him in the arm.
Yeah, but people,
you're not gonna do that with a Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, but you're talking about back in the day. But when we got into the late '80s and '90s, people loved Jake the Snake. But back in the day, like when he first started,
Now, we were talking about that without Jake the Snake Roberts, we wouldn't have Stone Cold
because
Steve Austin.
People forget 1996 King of the Ring, and he beats him, and he goes up and he cuts the promo. You have your Psalms 316, well, Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass." That was the birth of the Attitude Era.
People just started making the signs.
That was the birth right there. Without Jake the Snake Roberts, we do not have the Attitude Era. I want people to realize that. Without him, we do not have some of the greatest stars in the history of wrestling. We don't have Stone Cold.
He thought that he was on the chopping. He said he was on the chopping block. Stone Cold did.
Yeah.
So that saved his career, and also projected the stardom, which is insane because when I think about it, that was the pivotal moment.
That's just everybody agrees that was the start of the Attitude
That's
Era.
where I went from LJN to Jack Pacific. Okay.
I mean, and so Jake the Snake Roberts, and he had some great he debuted, and I think one of his first matches was at WrestleMania 2, so he's been around a long time.
I can't believe he really carried those snakes around.
Oh yeah, that was his thing. And he had I think he had a different snake. I think there was a time at the beginning he had the same snake. I remember when he came back in the late 90s, he had the gimmick of being like the preacher, and the snake was called Revelation. It was an all-white albino python.
That cobra really screwed me, man.
Yeah.
I love snakes, but actually watching the cobra bite.
Macho Man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about something you'll never forget burned in your mind.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're kids, that's real life. That's a real life cobra. And it was. It was deveined or whatever.
No venom. Yeah, no venom or whatever. But still, it's biting into you.
Oh, my God.
It's still biting into you. And it bit into him.
Yeah. And it wouldn't let go.
Yeah, that was the big problem, is that it wouldn't let go.
Oh, my God. That was so scary. Yeah. So, Jake was very memorable. Yeah, definitely had a dark history. Since we become adults and we've seen him on interviews, he really, really had an awful.
Yeah,
upbringing
I
in
mean,
life.
it's
And
bad,
never,
you guys. If you go watch Beyond the Mat with him in the interview, I encourage you, if you're watching this and you have not seen the Beyond the Mat, the old documentary, you need to go watch it because
it's free on YouTube.
You need to watch it because it really does show you what he struggled with. He explains everything. I mean, you have a segment with him and his father, and it's bad. I mean, it's very bad. Like this guy, I mean, he had a stepfather I mean, we're talking about his sister. I mean, I don't even want to speak of what happened to her. It was the most horrifying thing I've ever heard. And
so when you take into account like how big he got in his career and how great of a superstar he was, they really held back a lot of the information all the time.
Well, and then it does explain why he got into the drugs and why he went down the dark path. But it also explains too why he fought so hard to get out of it, because he's a fighter and he's only here today, folks. He's only here today because of us, the fans, caring. DDP Yoga, and we'll eventually do, because we met DDP as well. DDP saved this man's life.
Yeah,
and we saved this man's life.
And that was a great documentary too.
I mean, look, he looks just as good in this than he probably looked 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I like that he talks so much about like you're not alone, and he wants people to know like I've been through some of the worst, but there's people that have it worse than me, definitely. And he's like, I just want everyone to know that there's a way out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just can't believe how much of an inspiration he is.
I loved it. I think it was the 25th anniversary show. They brought him back. And it was good. I loved it, him coming out, because it was kind of signifying like, hey, you cleaned up, you're back. And I think he did a segment with now it's Moxley. He did a segment with him, Dean Ambrose. Well, Dean Ambrose,
Deanie Poo,
and Deanie Poo. And he did a segment with him, and it was great. And it was just really nice to see him back in action. And it really is an amazing story. It really is an amazing story, because you go back and you look. Nobody thought, watching Beyond the Mat, nobody watching it thought he would be alive today. Nobody. I didn't think so. I thought, okay.
I'll tell you who else didn't think so. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah, Jake the Snake. I mean, this is the guy that held up Vince McMahon. If he didn't get like several $1,000s in heroin, or I think it was heroin, he wasn't going to wrestle.
Yeah, I think that was by his own account too.
Yeah, I mean,
but he really was. He was such a crazy heel that people were just they hated the guy as the character. He was.
Yeah,
they thought in real life he was that bad of a guy.
Yeah,
and I always think that's awesome if you can be a heel that bad. Because we've seen heels come and go. We're like, dude, that's stupid. That's BS.
And it's crazy to think he didn't win. He hasn't won any titles in the WWE, but he had some of the greatest moments. And that just shows you, titles don't mean everything, folks. You can win no titles and still have a Hall of Fame career. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
We saw him get inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Also, in his peak, he looked great.
Yes.
He had the hair. He did have the snake.
Yeah.
You know, and when you got the figure, you got the little snake with the figure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And so it just shows you that titles don't mean everything. They matter to a point. I think they matter a little bit more today. But if you have enough charisma, you have the character, you have the walk, you have the it factor, you can have a Hall of Fame career. Jake the Snake Roberts showed that. And he also showed that, listen, no matter how bad cards have been dealt your way, you can still walk away with some chips. You know, you can walk away living and he's living a great life now. I mean, this is a guy that's living the dream. I mean, he really is. He's living the dream. He's a good guy. He's an inspiration to millions across the world.
I will say this too: he has to work hard every
it's
single
a struggle.
day.
It's a struggle
every single day, because he knows that he's just purely retired. You know?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, and I think he'll never be out of work. I think this is a guy that's he's going to always have a place, because he could go to the Performance Center and work in their promo department, helping build promos.
I always wonder why he wasn't in movies. Just to play just some minor character.
I mean, I think he was in some movies. I know he was recently in the Peanut Butter Falcon, which was really good with Shia LaBeouf. You didn't see it, but he was in that,
cool.
and he was good. He was good in it. He played a wrestler, and I thought he was good. It was a small role, so maybe it'll open the door for him, because even though he's older, he still can fill those older guy roles. Hey, there's older guys in movies. They need.
I hope he's still doing the DDP yoga, because he could still be in great shape.
Oh yeah, he seemed in good shape in the movie. But Peanut Butter Falcon was really good, and he played a good role in it as like a southern, backdoor wrestler. So I think that his career, secondary wing of career, is going to be good. I think he's going to do a lot of good things.
When we saw that they were signing, we were super excited.
Oh yeah,
I never thought in my life I'd meet Jake the Snake Roberts.
No. Like I said, when I was a kid and younger, I thought, okay, yeah, I'm never gonna.
I mean, even your dad was like,
oh yeah, my dad was really excited
wow,
because
Jake
my
the
dad
Snake
remembers when
Roberts?
he was huge. I mean, he was a megastar when my dad was my age. He was a
Yeah.
megastar. And so it's really nice.
But he is older, and when we meet the older people,
Yeah, it means a lot more.
Yeah, as we got to meet Dusty Rhodes before, and a few other people, which all footage are coming soon.
Yeah,
We're
and then
doing our best here.
we got to meet
Piper.
Piper. So because guys like that, you have to appreciate guys like Jake the Snake Roberts, because one day he's gone. He's gone, and that's it. There's no second wave. It's over, and he's gone. And I appreciate him being honest about his struggles.
Yeah,
And his career is just
he could have just disappeared, and we just never would have known.
Yeah,
if something would have happened to him,
I'm sure he's doing appearances here and there on independent scene as it comes back, because it's good for business.
Well, what makes me happy about people like Jake the Snake Roberts that have taken responsibility and understand how important it is for them to change. I would trust him around my kids, anyone's kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
everybody.
he's somebody I trust with $1 million. I'd come back and there'd be a dollar more.
And I don't think that he could have said that about himself 10 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, but maybe 10 years ago, but 20 years ago, no way. No way at all.
Yeah, so we love you, Jake.
Yeah, we're very proud of you. Keep up the good work. You're an inspiration to many.